People have been drawn to the horror genre since storytelling began. The only thing people love more than laughing is being scared. For those who love to be scared, a violent, bone-chilling anime can bring them to new levels of fear and revulsion. If you're looking for anime like this, then you are in the right place. Hey guys, it's Animen here, and today we are going to take a look at the top 10 darkest horror anime ever. And I'll try not to include some of those popular anime like The Promised Neverland, Another, When They Cry, and a few others in this list. So before we start, be sure to subscribe to our channel and press on that bell icon and set us all to be notified about our latest videos. At number 10 we have the Junji Ito collection. What's better to watch in late midnight if it wasn't a horror story? A whole new premise that brings you amidst of folklore, that's for sure, to haunt us. When I watched the first episode, I got this little tingling vibe that this series actually frightens me to some degree. The show itself seems a bit promising by portraying quite a realistic horror side that may overwhelm, or at least spur you with fear. The story is altogether from a collection of horror stories, one by one with their own unique than each other, to show you how interesting a horror story can be. People are always afraid of something that is unknown to them, whether it be a ghost or a monster, or simply because we fear what is this unknown entity could do to us. But before you know it, you've already delved deep into each story like you're actually the main character, to see how one reality can be a door to what you feared the deepest inside your heart. Every story gets its own stage, and when you least expect it, the worst is already in front of us. It could be something grotesque, creepy, or gross, but then again, this is actually what we've hidden deep inside our heart. If you're completely unfamiliar with any of Junji Ito's work, I highly recommend you read Uzumaki. It's not a very long one, however, it gives you a great starting place for understanding Junji's work, as well as his world. At number 9 we have Japan Sinks 2020. I think it's a very special story. It's about how Japan sinks into the ocean. An ordinary family tries its best to survive as a series of earthquakes destroy the islands of Japan. It shows their struggle while moving up west and how the city continues to tremble and cause more damage. Even with this, the family continues to make memories with each other on their way. I think this story is a real eye-opener to appreciate what's happening in the moment, because you never know what the future will bring, or who you'll gain and lose in life. I definitely recommend anyone to watch this. It's packed with a lot of emotional scenes in it, which you can easily emphasize with the characters. I managed to cry a lot during some episodes, even with me being not a very emotional person. I always think shows are usually good when they can bring home the emotion, even if they are not the best scripted or animated. At number 8 we have Boogie Pop and Others 2019. There is an urban legend going around about a strange entity called Boogie Pop, a rumored shinigami that kills people to release them from their suffering. But is Boogie Pop real? Boogie Pop seems to be manifest as an alter ego of Toka Miyashita, and appears to banish anyone that might be a potential risk to humanity. When a string of mysterious disappearances occur in Shinyo Academy, Boogie Pop is once again awakened, and tries to find the menace behind the incident. The story is wonderful, but not easily followed. Many people say that it's confusing, but that's more a lack of experience than a fault of the anime. Yes, you will probably get lost if you try to watch this while simultaneously checking social media and texting your friends. The story is a mystery, so even with your full attention you won't be aware of every detail of the situation. Adding to the confusion, at first, is the fact that the story is non-linear, so you have to keep track of when things are happening as well as what exactly happened. At number 7 we have The Flowers of Evil. The story takes place in Japan and revolves around Takao, a quite normal boy who goes to school, loves books, and has a crush on what is supposed to be the beauty of the class. One day he finds her sport clothes as he wants to get the book he accidentally forgot in the classroom. He takes them out and hears a sound. In the hurry, he just takes them and leaves quickly. Later on, the psycho child of the class, being Nakamura, tells him that she saw him stealing the clothes. From then on, he started to blackmail him and makes him do things that, well, are kinda awkward. The whole story is really well executed and as far as I know, follows the manga quite well, though I didn't read it. It is really enjoyable to watch and it keeps unfolding in directions that the viewer doesn't expect to go. It wasn't a masterpiece, but it was definitely a good story. At number 6 we have Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is a supernatural series that has its share of lighthearted events, but many of its demons are downright spooky. It tells the tale of Satsuki, who's just moved with her father and brother to the place where her now deceased mother was born. She meets a few intriguing schoolmates after heading over to an abandoned school building right across from the facility in use. Once there, it's revealed that Satsuki's mother was actually responsible for sealing away some of the ghosts who were previously haunting the town in her youth. With the help of her new friends, Satsuki must seal the ghosts back up or face new hauntings, nearly every single day of the week. Going into this series, anyone should know that the dub and the sub of the show are drastically different. The sub is probably more serious and the dub is complete crack. So of course, I watched the dub version. I've done my fair share of watching serious animes, but once in a while, it's nice to sit back and relax with something light. Trust me, if you just want to laugh for half an hour, this is the one for you. At number 5, we have Ghost Hunt. The series does not have a main plot. There are small arcs which usually don't last for more than 3 to 4 episodes, thus not dragging the anime, and neither taking away the viewer's attention. The story for Ghost Hunt is a very fun and interesting one, and at least for me, unique. It takes on an unusual way of telling about ghost hunting, giving you a look into the more scientific and realistic ways ghost hunting actually works, or rather would work if it was real. It is also told well. The episodes, or cases, are all full of twists that keep you guessing and wondering what's going to happen next. And it never fails to give you a complete and satisfying ending, not to mention that each case is very different from the others, so there is a lot of variety in what happens in the end. I highly recommend the series to anyone, any anime viewer, whether they liked mysteries or horror previously or not. This anime is a must-see. At number 4, we have Devilman Crybaby. Akira Fudo is our main character and his kind heart makes him an easy target for bullies, but his best friend Ryo Asuka helps him move away from this persona, just not in a healthy way at all. Ryo has a secret. He knows demons are real, and he can prove it. He uses a special power to draw the demons out of the humans and plunges poor Akira into the center of it all. As a result, Akira becomes a Devilman, or a demon that can retain its human nature while gaining immense power from a demonic form. Ryo's actions were hardly altruistic, as he plans to rule the world with Akira as a tool by his side. The result? An unforgettable bloody ballet of violence, gore, sex, and psychedelic visuals. So if you are going to watch it, then make sure that you are alone. At number 3, we have Serial Experiments Lain. The story of Serial Experiments Lain is an interestingly complex one, to say the least. It starts off by a student committing suicide, saying she does not need to exist in this world anymore. The following day, the students receive an email from the dead student, and at first they think it is spam mail, but that turns out not to be the case. Pretty much the whole show revolves around the Wired, or their version of a more advanced internet, and how humans use it as a form of communication. I can't really tell you more than that, partially because it's spoilery, and because I'm not really sure what happened at some points in the series. I had to watch several scenes more than once just to be able to tell you guys. This is probably one of the most confusing, messed up anime you will ever see, and yet it's somehow satisfying. This one is for sure a masterpiece. At number 2, we have Mononoke. Mononoke is a collection of horror fairy tales, a thrilling blend of mystery, murder, and the supernatural. Its distinct visual style should be enough to reach out and pull you in. While evocative of traditional Japanese artwork and the Edo period, it hides some truly spooky story arcs that follow a character known as the Medicine Seller. This visually arresting series follows the protagonist as he deals with strange spirits, here known as Mononoke, which can only be felled with a special sword. Even so, the story surrounding them is enough to keep you glued to your seat. This is a hidden gem. And number 1 goes to Mushishi. What goes on in the world of creatures which cannot be seen by the human eye? Mushishi explores a hidden world that's rife with some truly disturbing beings responsible for death, pain, and destruction. Most inadvertently, but sometimes on purpose. Mushishi follows a wanderer named Ginkgo, who's cursed with the sight of Mushi, or invisible tiny spirits that interact with others around the world, which is to say, in mostly negative and terrifying ways. These aren't happy-go-lucky sprites. Mushi takes over a young girl's eyes, lead people to their deaths in a remote mountain pass, and even attempts to drown humans who get too close. Banishing Mushi is a scary and often sad job, but someone has to do it. May as well be Ginkgo. This is definitely a series worth watching, and definitely one of the most underrated anime series out there, so please be sure to enjoy it. Looks like that's the end of today's list. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you think we missed any horror or dark anime, then please be sure to comment it down below, as I'm always reading your comments. Also, if you're looking to support me, please consider becoming a member of the channel, as I make exclusive content for members only. Also, don't forget to like, share, and definitely don't forget to subscribe. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.